Rupananda ki jai, Shri Dhamma Pradhan ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Nitya Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. So today I looked up at Vaishnava calendar and I found that today is the disappearance day of Srila Govinda Ghosh. Yeah. Govinda.
Ah, singer.
Yeah. Singer, yeah. Vaishnava is singer as well.
Govinda Ghosh.
Govinda Ghosh, yeah, one of the eternal associates of Lord Chaitanya. So probably we will discuss his appearance, disappearance and pastimes. And that's what we normally do according to our tradition. Right, so I will read from Chaitanya Charitamrita, a verse describing his as one of the branches on the tree, multifarious tree of Lord Chaitanya. So this is chapter 10, entitled The Trunk, Branches and Sub-Branches of Sri Chaitanya Tree, text number 115, Adi Lila. Okay, so you're gonna press the button or?
It's already started.
Huh? Oh, it's
Yeah.
going. Okay, let's start with prayers. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Nityananda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Govinda Madhava Vasudeva Tina Bhai Yan Sabara Kirtanena Se Chaitanya Nitai. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. The three brothers Govinda, Madhava and Vasudeva were the 82nd, 83rd and 84th branches of the tree. Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda used to dance in their kirtan performances. Short commentaries by Srila Prabhupada. The three brothers, Govinda, Madhava and Vasudeva Ghosh, are all belonged to Kayastha family. Govinda established the Gopinath temple in Agra Dvipa, where he resided. Madhava Ghosh was expert in performing kirtan. No one within this world could compete with him. He was known as a singer of Vrindavan and was very dear to Sri Nityananda Prabhu. It is said that when the three brothers performed Sankirtan, immediately Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda would dance in ecstasy. According to the Gaura Ganadesha Deepika 188, the three brothers were formerly Kalavati, Rasa Lasa and Gunatunga Sakhis in Krishna, who recited the songs composed by the Sri Vishakha Gopi. The three brothers were among one of the 7 parties that performed kirtan when Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu attended the Radha Yatra festival at Jagannath Puri. Vakreshwar Pandit was the chief dancer in the party. This is vividly described in Madhya Lila chapter 13, verse 42 and 43. Om Gyana Timirandasya Gina Gina Chalakaya Chakshuramitam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Krishnaya Manava Krishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutare Swayam Pakadama Hyamrita Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapadakam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Sha Shri Upam Sagra Jatam Sagaravatam Tam Sanjivam Sadvaitam Sadvaitam Parijanam Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sadhana Vaita Shri Shakam Vidam Sha Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinamantu Jagate Krishna Kanta Radha Karuna Namustate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radha Vrindavan Shri Shri Shabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Hari Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhyascha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Namaste Saraswati Deva Gauravani Prasharinam Vishnu Pushpamani Pashchati Vishnu Bhakta Vishnu Vishnu Prasupam Sanjayanti Klashati Dam Shivam Nyam Shahastam Shalom Shalom Samani Pranam Bhagavate Purushottam Namashashtamani Shpura Matra Sodam Rupam Tasaviham Urklimat Huim Goshtavati Bhagavi Kundam Girava Kam Kalasamprata Sakriti Kita Shidrum Pranatasim Purvai Gurushin Daya Shadkara Krishna Krishna Bhakta Adantastrinam Vantaraneshi Matma Shima Dupam Padam Vijambhasya. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna Das Kaviraj, he prays to all the associates of Lord Chaitanya. He prays in a way Chota Bada Bhakta Gana Shri Vandana Charana. So he prays to Chota means small bhaktas, and Bada means big time devotees. So he prays to them all, and he bowed down to his lotus feet. Vandana Charana. He offered his prayers to all the Vaishnavas and doesn't discriminate between small or big, Chota Bada. So he offer his respect and taking shelter of all them. So, and one of the branches on unlimited multifarious tree of Lord Chaitanya, which is covered entire world with its branches and twigs and leaves, and on that tree we know growing beautiful nectarian fruits of love of God. And three branches, numbered 18, 82, 83, 84, were three brothers, namely Madhava, Govinda, and Vasudeva Ghosh. Three brothers, the eternal associates of Lord Chaitanya. And they were able to give mature nectarian fruit, love of Godhead to everyone, and actually able to liberate entire universe, according to Vaishnava Acharyas. They are saying Brahmanda Tarita Shakti Dhara Jana Jana. One Vaishnava can deliver entire universe with all these jhanas, all the energies inside the universe can deliver by his Shakti. Tarita Shakti Dhara. Dhara means hold Shakti. And disappearance day today is Tirubhav Mahotsav. Mahotsav means festival, and disappearance. And in material culture, disappearance day is a day of sorrow and sadness. We losing our close associates. But in spiritual culture, everything is different. Therefore, day of disappearance is considered to be a day of festivity and joy, because disappearance day means you enter into the eternal pastimes of the world and live in this world of sorrow and sadness, miseries. We know that from Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, Abrahma Bhuvana Luka Punaravartana. Everywhere where we go, everywhere is a Dukha Layana Shashvatam, is the abode of Dukha, it's miseries. And disappearance means sometimes Vaishnavas, they go into trance, samadhi, and then sometimes they come back, sometimes they not come back. They don't want to be back. And that's called disappearance. Means they disappeared from our vision. They're gone to merge into the eternal pastimes of divine couple and never comes back. And normally, like our acharyas explain, there are 3 stages of consciousness of advanced devotees. Advanced, like eternal Nitya Parishads. They call Siddha Mahapurusha or Bhagavata Prapti Parshada. Parshada means Parishads or associates, eternal associates. And they have 3 states of consciousness. One is called Antar Dasha, then Bahir Dasha, and Antar Bahir in between. So Antar means inner consciousness. When he merged into the pastimes, he completely out of this world. Although maybe body is here, but he's out. He's somewhere in Krishna's pastimes, observing Ashtakali Lila or participating, because all his consciousness is there, nothing here, only body, which is just a vehicle for the soul. And sometimes he kind of kicks out, being kicked out from that. I mean, kicked out maybe it's the wrong word, but he kind of been withdrawn from that internal observation, and he just comes out and just like become conscious about this external world. And such Vaishnavas, they bring in all these different realizations from that world, and writing books and sharing what Radha and Krishna do in the spiritual world. Actually, that's why we have all this sublime and illustrious literature like Goswami's literature, all these wonderful books and purpose to the Shastras. And sometimes they're in between. When they're in external consciousness, that means they're praying, they're begging, they're doing sadhana, they're performing, they're setting an example for sadhakas, those who practice in devotees, how to perform spiritual life. And they're doing like very strong sadhana, but sadhana, like sadhakas. And then sometimes they're in between. Antar Bahir means part of the consciousness is there, and part of this consciousness here. He's conscious about this body, about external situation. That's why sometimes his activities, it's called inadequate, right? Because there is no material logic. It's beyond. Therefore, sometimes we call them avadhut. Avadhut means we don't know what's going to happen next, how he's going to react, how he's going to act, and so on and so forth. That's why it is saying in Shastra, Vaishnavara Kriya Mudra. So nobody understands the activities of Vaishnava. Like nobody can understand the plans of the Lord. Even the great sages and demigods, even in the higher plane, their assistants. And also Vaishnava is also unpredictable. He's beyond of our comprehension. So today is the disappearance day of Govinda Ghosh, one of the 3 brothers, exalted personalities. And although he performed his act of disappearance, but actually he is not under the jurisdiction of this material energy, like old age, disease, death, has to leave his body. No, that's his sweet will. Svaichha Mai, he wants to go, he just, going out from here. And they kind of not under the jurisdiction of the matter, of this stringent laws of material nature, but they come in to participate in the mission of Lord Chaitanya, in all merciful mission of liberation of the conditioned souls from the clutches of Maya. That's why they come in. They're liberated souls. They don't depend on this kind of situation. So Govinda Ghosh, one of the 3 brothers, and they were, according to book of Kavi Karnapura, it's called Gaura Ganadesha Deepika, which explain the different identities of all eternal associates of Lord Chaitanya in Krishna Lila. So all of them have 2 identities, at least, maybe more, but 2 at least, a minimum. So one is in Krishna Lila, another one is Gaura Lila. So these 3 brothers, they were one of the singers, one of the leading kirtaneers, in Gaura Lila, but they also they have the identity in Krishna Lila as three sakis, three gopis. Actually, in Gaura Lila there are two categories of devotees. One category is the followers of Lord Nityananda in Sakhya-rasa. They call Dvadashi Gopalas. Also a huge group. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in 11th chapter of Adi Lila mentioned 77, if I am right, 77 associates of Lord Chaitanya. Or Nityananda, so the Dvadashi Gopalas, they're in the Sakhya-rasa. And then the rest of the associates, they follow Lord Chaitanya and they're in Madhurya Rasa. And they're probably in the mood of, not probably, but most of them, apparently in the mood of worshiping to Srimati Radharani and accepting her as Ashraya Vigraha, or supreme worshipful deity. And these three mentioned here, in spiritual world, in Krishna Lila, they are formerly Kalavati, Rasalasa, and Gunatunga Sakis. They also have the Sanskrit names of Sakis, Gopis, cover-head girls, and they are considered to be topmost devotees of Krishna.
Just can I ask, so the difference between a Saki and a Gopi?
Saki is she Saki, can be she Saki, and can be Saka, or he, female and male as well. They're Sakas, or
friend.
Yeah, friends and girlfriends, or also friends, boyfriends. So Krishna's friends, Sakas. Yeah, the Sanskrit, I don't know the grammar, how to pronounce correctly. I think it's Sakas, but Sakis, those who female bodies, they're also Sakis. But the Saki of main Gopi. There is always main Gopi. She called Yudheshwari. She's like a leading Gopi of big group. And there are many Gopis.
So how does that work? Like there's one Gopi, she's like a leader.
Yeah. Many leaders.
There's many. What is there like some hierarchy system? What's
Definitely.
how is
groups.
Yeah.
It's a very
organized.
precise,
This seems to be organized.
structure, discipline, everything. Yeah. It's not like we think maybe the Raganuga Bhakti, that means everything all over the place. Everything happening like very spontaneous. It means chaos. There is no chaos. Everything is arranged by Yoga Maya. Yoga Maya is in charge for everything, and she makes everything according to the time. And we know what's going on in the spiritual world according to every minute what's going on in the spiritual world. Every minute we know what Krishna does. Can you imagine? Ashtakala Yuga means eightfold pastimes during the day and night. We know by each minute what Krishna is doing. That's everything arranged by Yoga Maya. And we able to, we got access to this. We know what's going on. You see how amazing is it? Yeah, that's great gift of our acharyas. So we become a chosen people, so we can look through the keyhole what's going on in the spiritual world, because it's very confidential. It's never been described before. Nobody knew about it. So now we know this, and we take it for granted. It's very unique. So these three Sakis, and they were also there in Krishna Lila, presently also, because it's eternal. They leading kirtan, the singers. She.
Yeah. We're having classes.
Yeah.
We're having classes.
Yeah. So they are three leading kirtaniyas, or singers, and they are performing kirtans, very sweet kirtans for divine couple in the spiritual world, and they taught or trained by Vishaka Saki. Vishaka, she's one of the closest Saki of Srimati Radharani. Srimati Radharani is a Yuteshwari of left-wing gopis. The left, right, and middle one. So three main groups, but actually they're unlimited groups, but the three main are there. Left, right, and in the middle. It's called Sama Snehatika. Sneha means love of Godhead. Sama means in between. They're equal to divine couple, Krishna and Radha, in the same level. They relate to them. But then there are Radha Snehalika and Krishna Snehalika. Some of the gopis are more inclined to Krishna, some of them more inclined to Radha. So, left wing, those who on the side of Radharani, there are two main, we know, the Ashtasaki actually 8, and the two main, very, very closest, very intimate Sakis, and one of them is Vishaka, another Lalita. So Vishaka, she's like one of the gurus in Braj. She's in charge to teach others in fine arts how to arrange fine arts, different services like gopis and manjaris are doing in the kunjas, in transcendental divine kunjas. Kunjas means groves of Vrindavan. So they're doing this beautiful arrangements, and Vishaka, she is leading gopi. She's like a guru, and she also she teaches Krishna himself. Sometimes Krishna wants to get mercy of Srimati Radharani, come closer to him. Then Vishaka, she teach him, and she teach him how to follow certain vratas. Vrata, like some vow. Like one of them is called Keshava Vrata. It happens on Vishaka Mas. Vishaka Mas means April, May. It's one of the hottest. It's considered the summer time in India. And Vishaka teaches Krishna how to perform different manual services in the kunjas. And Krishna, he takes this vow very happily, and he trained by her how to cook, how to decorate, how to arrange everything, how to paint, and all this. So Vishaka, she is a very influential person in Raj, and she is a leader of all other gopis.
So sorry. What does it mean? So Vishaka knows more than Krishna in some sense. How does Krishna is the source of...
Krishna maybe knows everything, but in art of love, Krishna surrender, and he takes a role of he not God, and according to Lila, he is God, but he is God of love. He's not a God, almighty, all-powerful God like Narayana.
Mm-hmm.
So he is a Cupid, transcendental Cupid, and he wants to. He's a forest dancer. He is a transcendental Cupid. He is a center of love of entire Raj, but he's not a god. That's why he diminished his power of all-knowing, all-powerful, almighty God. He just kind of shrinks these things, and he becomes just a cowherd boy in Raj, and he it's called Prema Vanya. He is manipulated, maybe we can use this word, by love. So he what's the word? So he conquered by love, right? So you can anyone can conquer him by love and devotion, nothing else. So you can't conquer him by force, by any other powers, only by love. Mm-hmm. So Krishna surrendered happily. If you have love, so he becomes your servant, and we know who is the main topmost devotee in Raj, who possesses highest love, Mahabhava. Mahabhava Swarupini Sharadika Takurani, Sarva Gunikani, Sarva Kanti Shramani. She's the top, and she got this love, and Krishna completely became a puppet in her hands, and therefore he wants to, what is called, satisfy her. He wants to please her. That's why he going to Vishaka and asking for advice for training, and yeah, so he became a beggar of prema actually. So this is pastime, this is lila, and this is lila is much more higher than tattva. Tattva means philosophical truth, means metaphysical arrangement, how everything works in this subtle universe and creation. But lila is higher because lila driven by love, and love is most powerful force in this world. It's spiritual material, doesn't matter. So love is most powerful force everywhere. We can see it even here in the material world. People are ready to do crazy things just to get this temporary, flickering material love, which is kama, which is lust actually, not real love.
Right. So in Tattva, Krishna is the served and everyone else is the servitor, like.
Yeah.
So, but in rasa, it's different.
Yeah.
So how do you reconcile tattva and rasas? Like,
so you have to build a foundation of tattva. You have to understand all tattvas. It's called sambandha again. You have to build this nicely, like you constructing skyscraper. If you not put nice foundation, so it's gonna collapse. Right? So your devotion, your spirituality, gonna be established on this foundation. That means you have to establish nice, strong foundation, which is tattva. So you have to understand all tattvas and interrelationship between them. Who is who, what is the level, what is hierarchy, what is the tattva. Tattva means that which exists eternally. Tattva. It's eternal truth. It's not temporary comparative truth. It's eternal truth. Tattva. Absolute. All the tattvas you have to learn nicely, and then you can get access to the realm of rasa. When you know tattva, when you know lila, then you can experience rasa. You can enter into the realm of rasa and experience. Hopefully, we need something more qualification to understand. But tattva we have to learn.
So is it through intelligence that we actually experience the spiritual world, because we understand tattva by our mind intelligence?
There are different ways how to understand spirituality. Through the intellectual approach also there, Jiva Goswami explained it. So we can understand rasa intellectually, by discriminating all different details, systematically arrange everything and understand how it works, what's the structure. So by intellect, and there are very elaborate description of rasas in Goswami's books, like Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which is very, it's considered the main work, theological work of our sampradaya, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. This is called Science of Rasas. And also Jvala Nilamani is the second part which explains the only Madhurya Rasa. It's a huge book with 360 divisions of Madhurya Rasa. Very detailed explanation, very elaborate. So you have to study it, and you can approach to rasa through intellectual understanding. And this is a certain kind of level of understanding, but it's not full, right? You have to experience it by your senses. But you have to involve spiritual senses, because material senses are not working in that realm. So our material senses are useless. So intellect is good to approach first by intellectual approach, and it's called Buddhi Yoga. Tesham Satadam Mittanam Bhajatam Prityu Provakam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam. First, so we approach through the Buddhi, and then Bhakti is coming. Right? Yeah, so there are different approaches, but intellectual is also good.
But even Buddha yoga is Bhakti yoga, is in
Yeah, Bhakti yoga
some sense.
starts from Buddha yoga. So you have to be conscious. First of all, you have to be conscious. Then you have to be conscious about Krishna. Conscious Sattva Gun. Then Krishna conscious. And otherwise, how we can uplift ourselves to the transcendental level. So come back to this pastime. Yeah? So I wanted to tell you some story from his life. Maybe we don't have much time. And yeah, this Govinda Ghosh, one of the three brothers, and they were also Kirtaniyas, and they participated kirtans of Lord Chaitanya. So one of them, it's in Shiva Sangam, nocturnal kirtans. So Lord Chaitanya used to love those kirtans, and he kind of built up his rasa, his bhava, before he overflowed entire Navadvip with Nagar Sankirtan. So this intimate some to a certain degree kirtans in Shiva Sangam. We know that this is like a Janmastan of kirtan, it's place of birth of kirtan. And Govinda Ghosh, Madhava Ghosh, they were so expert in performing kirtan that it is saying here there is nobody could compete with such a sweet and mellow kirtan, melodious and beautiful kirtans. So we just can imagine. If nobody could compete, can you imagine such? If even Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda, they relished those kirtans, and immediately when Lord Nityananda heard, he just set in a dance. He started to dance immediately. He was so, like moved by those kirtans. So you can imagine. So they're from spiritual world, eternal associates. They have this kind of spiritual, what is called, skills. To please divine couple. Can you imagine such a kirtans? Probably if we would have heard even just one moment of the kirtan, so we would have been out of this world. We would never come back. We would never become normal after the kirtan. Yeah, our mind would have been stolen, and you never become normal already after that. Yeah, I think so. If divine couple, they enjoy by those kirtans, and Lord Chaitanya and another, they used to dance immediately when they heard. Or maybe yes, maybe you just collapse and just completely change by hearing these kirtans. And they were also one of the leading kirtaniyas on Radha Yatra. Radha Yatra Pasanga is one of the main pastimes which described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. The five main topics. It's a big subject, but one of them is Radha Yatra Prasanga. This is pastimes on Radha Yatra, dancing of Lord Chaitanya on Radha Yatra. And there were 7 groups of kirtans, 7 parties, Sankirtan parties. And they were very nicely organized. And in one of those groups, Govinda Ghosh, he was leading Kirtaniya, and his brothers they were as well, and also Vakreshwar Pandit, he was the main dancer. So Vakreshwar Pandit, he is the best dancer ever. He could dance for 72 hours, non-stop. 72 hours, and it means how many? 3 days, 3 days and 3 nights, non-stop. Yeah. So it's not like a physical dance, like kind of bodily exercise. It's just completely, on the spiritual level, because who could do this for 3 days? Maybe, I don't know, some very physically fit person, but he can't feel anything,
Yeah.
It's not a physical exercise. Yeah, anyway, so this leaders, this leading kirtaniyas, they were very brilliant kirtaniyas. And there is some story from his life. Once upon a time, Lord Chaitanya, he took sannyas. He renounced this world and he went for wandering around. And some of the eternal associates that joined him from Navadvip, and they started to wander with him. And one of them was Govinda Ghosh. And he took sannyas, he started to follow Lord Chaitanya. And they came to some village. And Lord Chaitanya, he exhibited some leelas there. Lord Chaitanya taught through the different leelas us different lessons he gave through his associates. Like for example, through Haridas Thakur he taught humility or how to chant, or through Sanatana Goswami he taught tolerance. Also through another associate, his name was Chota Haridas. He taught how to behave properly when you renounce, when you on the level of when you renounce in this world, how you have to behave, what's the etiquette, what's the...
Was he brahmachari?
He was sannyasi.
He was sannyasi.
Yeah. And Madhava Ghosh, Govinda Ghosh, he also took sannyas, and he started to wander. Lord followed him, and they came to some village, and Lord Chaitanya, he exhibited leela that he eaten up too much, and then he asked him to go and bring some Ayurvedic medicines called Haritaki.
Oh yeah.
You know this? Haritaki.
Yeah, it's like a mouth freshener.
Yeah, it's like
powder.
Leaves of Haritaki. It gives you nice digestion and everything, and refreshment.
Yeah.
He asked him to go and find this, and he went out like a beggar, and he started to go door to door to ask, and he spent like few hours, and finally he found it somewhere. Very difficult. So he brought it, and he gave Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya took it, and he just was satisfied. And next day he performed same lila. He asked him, "You go and find this." And that time he brought it very quickly. He didn't spend like a lot of hours, but he just brought it like immediately. And Lord Chaitanya was surprised. He said, "How is it possible? Yesterday you wandered for a few hours, but now..." He said, I just saved a little bit. in order that you're gonna ask again, so I saved a little bit. Made some stash, And Lord Chaitanya, he said, "No, you can't do this. You sannyasi. Economy is not a dharma of sannyasi. Sannyasi has to maintain himself day by day by Krishna mercy. So you're not you're not fit, you're not qualified for sannyas. I chased you away. You just go and get married. So you're not sannyasi." And he was shocked.
Who was this person again?
Madhava, Govinda, we discussed in his pastime.
Okay.
Today's disappearance.
Yeah.
And he was really disappointed. He fell to the feet of Lord Chaitanya, started to cry, and he embraced his feet, and was watering his feet by his tears. And Lord Chaitanya finally he softened his heart. He said, okay, I'll come to you in the form of Shiva, in form of stone. Go to the household life, take up the household life. I come in the form of Shiva. And he said, how is it possible? How I can associate with Shiva? Does Shiva speak to me, or can I feed her? It's not possible. So I want to follow you. Lord Chaitanya, he was very strict. He said, listen what I say. Go and get married, and I'll come to you. And one day he came to Ganges to take sacred bath, and he started, and he was in the water, and something bumped into his back, and he just turned around. He saw the huge log floating on the top, on the surface, and it was a Shiva actually, floating on the surface, huge. And Lord Chaitanya came to his dream. He said, you have to find some stapati and curved, wonderful deity of Gopinath, and call him Gopinath. So he did it, and finally he installed his deity, Gopinath, and he started to worship him. Beautiful Gopinath. Shiman Rasasalam Hivam Shivadra Sita Koshan Venusunam Gopinath. He is a attractor of the gopis. He's staying on Vamshiva, playing flute, Tribandalita, and his Tribandal form. So he started to worship him, and he worshipped him. what's the mantras? Arkhaya Gopinathaya Namaha, Padya Gopinathaya Namaha. But he was thinking about Lord Krishna all the time. Actually, he wasn't Gopinath, but in his mind he kept Lord Krishna. And he got married and he got son. And after a while, after a short while, his son died. And wife also left this world. So everyone has died, his family has been completely ruined. And he stopped his worship. He said, he got very angry. He said, he addressed the Lord. He said, what you doing with my life? I never wanted family, children and wife, but you gave to me, and then you took it away. What is it? Why are you playing with me like this? What's the? It's insane, you know. There is no any sense of it.
Yeah.
So he got angry, he got offended, and he just crashed into bed. And he said, "I stopped my worship. I don't want to worship you anymore." And he just closed the gate of the temple. Finish. I don't want to feed you anymore. And he just it's transcendental. It's not like in modes of nature.
Because he still has faith that Krishna is not like he's rejecting Krishna. He's still.
It's a pastime.
Yeah.
See what's happened next. So Gopinath came in his dream in night and started to massage his feet of his devotee, and he said, "Why you gave up worship? Your son is died, but your second son, you want that your second son you want him to die as well?" He said, "What happened? So I got only one son, but I'm your son. You have to feed me." And he said, "Okay, if you're my son, will you be able to do funeral ceremony when I will leave this world? Would you be able to do Shraddha ceremony to do all these rituals?" He said, "Why not? I can do it." He said, "Okay, now I will feed you." So he set up everything, he made preparations, and he feeds the Lord. And he continues his service, was continuing until the end. And then when he passed away, when he left, disappeared, today is disappearance day, Gopinath, he did his funeral ceremony, it's called Shraddha ceremony. And people, they were able to see our Lord Gopinath came from the altar, and he took kusha grass and he started to perform ceremony. Like for fathers, they're doing ceremony, Shraddha, it's like a traditional thing in Hinduism. He done everything nicely, and since that time, there is some tradition. People of that village, it's called Agradvip, I think it's called Agradvip, where this Gopinath been established. So they carry this deity to the place where body of Govinda Bush been buried in the land, and they place him and dress in a certain way, in white clothes instead of pitambara, yellow clothes. They dress him in white. It's like commemoration day, whatever. And they give them, instead of jewelry, they put some kusha grass rings and decoration in kusha made of kusha grass. This Gopinath considered to be, he's still performing this ceremony for him every year, but we were not able, we're not qualified to see because we don't have a vision. Yeah, and that deed is still there in Agradvip, I think it's in West Bengal. You can also have a darshan if you want to go there. And we know many stories about the different deities, like the walking, the eating, the talking with
Stealing
the
sweet
voice.
rice.
Huh?
Stealing sweet rice.
Stealing sweet rice, deities are transcendental. It is proved that deities are transcendental.
Sorry to disturb the Sangha. We have to take prasad now, so we can get ready.
Yeah. Yeah.
We carry on through prasad and cooking, but we have to set up.
Yes, so today is disappearance day, pure buff of great devotee of Krishna, Parishad. Govinda Ghosh. He is a great Nitya, eternally liberated and eternal associate of Lord Chaitanya. So, and normally in our tradition, we on days of disappearance and days of appearance, we praying for their mercy, meditating on their pastimes, and in order to get a little drop of mercy, so that we can also be one day be eligible recipient of mercy of Lord Chaitanya and attain or get some glimpse into those pastimes, to see them also. To be part of Chaitanya Lila. Gaur Premanande Hari Jai. Shri Govinda Ghosh ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Shri Gopinath. Shri Radha Gopinath ki Jai. Gaur Premanande Hari Jai.